for his class. Do you think he ran a class on TV? So.
And you're gonna give me this? No, care.
Smart ass Jew and a jerk for a partner. And a bird in his pants. What you expect me to end up? Don't talk about him that way. You
Why? There's no roll.
You cracked it.
Hi, my name is Michael Gregory Pelka. This is the kitchen, and we'll be cooking today, I hope, pork tenderloin fillets, breaded and served with a kind of an applesauce, gravy, some creamed spinach. The first thing I'd like to do though before we get started is to let everyone know that when you're cooking in the kitchen, always have a fire extinguisher handy within a couple yards of yourself, because you never know what can happen in the kitchen. It's always good to have. We'll put that aside now and we'll get right down to our cooking. Here we have, that you can probably get anywhere, is a pork tenderloin. They're not that expensive, and when you see the way this is prepared, it'll make a meal for at least 4 people. When you get it from the butcher, you might want to trim some of this excess gristle and fat off, which we're going to do now. You just take your knife, get right into it, and it'll peel right off with the knife. You hold it there, comes right off. Little bit of tension. Get in there and get the rest of it. And there we have it. Now you've got a nice lean piece of pork tenderloin. What I like to do is, first of all, take it after it's trimmed and slice it approximately a 1/2 inch to 3/4 inch slices. Make sure you have a good sharp knife, because that makes a difference. You can see how it just falls apart anyway. You know it'll fall apart in your mouth. And especially when we get done cooking this. Each one will give you about 8 or 7 to 9 slices, depending on the size. These are good sized ones. And there we have it. Can we pause a minute here?
Sure.
Once you've got it all sliced, another good thing to have is have all your ingredients that you know you'll need in the recipe out ahead of time. Then you'll know you will not forget anything, and you can review the recipe, which I have here, as you can see. You'll have no problems. The next step in this preparation is we like to take these. I've got a piece of just ordinary wax paper here, freezer paper, wax paper, whatever. I take them, put them in between the paper, and just hit them with your hand. A couple times, it makes a lot of noise, but you get a nice, flat, evenly cooking piece on. I'll do that again, right now. Hold it over a little bit, it'll come right out. That's how they look. Just a couple more here. Put them right in. This takes about 2 or 3 minutes. No big deal. Pause right there. I waited there. Once you've got them all pounded out, bring them over here to the board. And what we're going to bread them in is an egg wash first, and then a flour and cracker meal mix first. And the cracker meal you can buy, but if you don't have it handy, you can just grind up crackers in your blender. Unsalted crackers would be the best. You like to beat the egg first so the milk mixes in. An egg wash is simply a milk and egg mixture. We'll put a little milk in there, just like that. Give it another couple turns with the fork over the sink, because you never know. And there you have so you don't need much. Just 1 egg and a little bit of milk. Well, what else we like to do now is we want to make our breading mix. And what I usually do is I take a cup of flour, approximately, it's not a big deal, and a cup of cracker milk, which we have right here, which are the crackers I said you can mix any way you want. Into that, we're going to mix those two together, mix them up. It ain't making a mess here, but don't worry about it. Someone else cleans up, I don't. We're going to put in a little fresh ground pepper, of course. Couple of those. And a little bit of salt. Right into there. Once that's all mixed in good, and you have a nice consistent color with it, you know they're blended well. Like that. We'll pull these out of the egg wash and put them right in there. Coat them up good. Just once is all you need. You don't want it real thick because it's a very, very delicate meat. You don't want to hide the flavor too much. You just want to keep them moist. Come out. Perfect. Take a pause there. Okay, that's the last one. We're all set. Before I go on, you can see after washing my hands, you might want to use tweezers or something like that, but I just feel with your hands, you know what you're doing. You can feel it. You don't have to worry about it. Okay, while I'm doing that, I'm going to heat up my frying pan, which is going now. That'll heat up. Let me get some butter out. Everything's always hidden. As you can see, this is a low cholesterol diet here. We're gonna fry these in a little bit of butter and a little bit of oil until they're just lightly golden. What we're gonna do is cook them about 80%. This is about 2 or 3 tablespoons of butter. It's up to you how big your pan is. We're going to use a little peanut oil in there also, so the butter doesn't burn. Swish that around a little bit, get it all mixed up. Good, nice and hot. We want it nice and hot when we drop them in. We're gonna cook these about 80% in the pan, and then we're gonna pop them in the oven for a while with a little bit of a gravy glaze type of deal. It gives them a real good flavor. Just take them breaded, pop them right in your pan. Get as many in as you can. It saves time. And we'll let these fry up. It takes about 3 minutes aside until they brown up if your pan is good and hot. Always have this towel here too, that helps. Cooking these over a medium to medium high heat. So you don't want to burn them. You just want them to brown up real nice on each side. And once they're browned up, we'll put them in the pan and put the next batch in. Okay, these have been cooking. Let's see what they look like. Oh, perfect. Naturally. Just flip them over. Give the pan a shake. Make sure they're not sticking. And let them cook a little bit. Another thing I think you should point out, if you have an expensive pan, use wood or something that'll dip. Don't use a metal utensil. You'll scratch your pan, which will ruin the pan. So we'll let these cook. Notice I'm using my Teflon spatula. I don't know where my wood is. Okay. Okay, after these are browned on both sides, we're going to pop them into this pan, cook the rest, and eventually they'll be going into a 350 oven covered for approximately 20 to 30 minutes, depending on how many you have and how deep the pan is. I would say 25 minutes and you'd be safe. In a 350 oven, 3 1/4. You don't want to burn them, so if you smell them burning, pull them out, and that's it, they're cooked. Okay, I think we're ready. They're looking pretty good. We'll get them out of the pan, and what we're going to do is just pop them right into an oven pan, any kind of oven pan. If you're only cooking a couple, use a pie plate for crying. Doesn't matter if it's for 2 or 4 or whatever. One of these pork tenderloins, by the way, will serve at least 4 people, at least. Notice all the things in the pan now. We'll be getting back to that in just 1 second. Okay. Okay, now that you get all the pork tenderloins cooked, take them out of the pan. The other ones are just nicely golden, which is where you want them. We're going to have to deglaze this pan now and make a little sauce that we're going to pour over these and bake with. What I have here is about half apple juice, half water, and the apple blends unbelievably well with the pork. You hear the sizzle, tap it in, get rid of that. Kick that flame up, and what we're going to do here is bring this up to a boil, let it clean the pan, which it will. It'll loosen everything up, get all the flavor out of it, and reduce it by about half. And by reducing, it's simply bringing it to a boil and let it cook off until we have about half the liquid that's in here right now. So we're doing that now. Notice it just comes right up. And we'll let that go for about 5 minutes. Okay, as you can see, we're on high heat. We've got it up to a boil. It's been reducing. We're just about half of what we had in the pan. And once we're there, we're going to take this, pour it right over the pork tenderloins we've cooked and breaded. Put that in here, pop that off. We have a piece of foil. We're going to take the pan, which is not hot because it hasn't really been cooking at all. We're going to cover it up tight with foil. No holes. You don't want the steam to come out. Keep them moist. And we're going to pop that right in the oven, about 350 for 20 to 30 minutes, depending on how many you have and how thick they are. I like to pat it a little thinner. Also, you can layer those pork tenderloin in that pan. If you have several pork tenderloins and you can't cover the bottom, keep them all in the bottom of the pan. You can lay them on top of each other. It won't hurt them at all. And there we are. We'll just let those bake a minute now. While that's cooking in the oven, what we're going to have with this is the creamed spinach. And what I've got here is approximately 1/4 pound or 4 slices. If you don't like it so smoky, use about 4 slices. If they're thick, about 3 of bacon that I've diced up very, very small. I'm going to pop it into the hot pan, get that cooking right away. Give it a stir here, get it all going. You can hear it sizzling away. And yes, it does smell like bacon. What we're going to add to the bacon, while it's cooking a little bit, is the chopped onion. We'll need about a cup of onion or 1 medium-sized onion. What I like to do with an onion, here's a good tip for you, is I cut the bottom off first and let it sit about 5 or 10 minutes. And that way, when you go to dice it or slice it or whatever, you won't cry, hopefully, because what that does is it releases the gas in the onion that makes you cry. I also like to peel it, peel the outer layer of skin, run it under cold water, and run your knife under cold water, and that keeps you from crying. Hopefully. We slice the onion in half, give it a couple long slices like so, with a couple diagonals, horizontals, whatever, holding it together. And when you run the knife down it, come out with a very even dice. It's perfect for this because you want it small. You want it diced fine. So we'll slice up this onion and we're ready to go. That'll go into the bacon. It's already frying, and we want the fat from the bacon in the pan. Do a couple slices this way. Okay, here we are. Pause, Armin. Okay, we got all the onion all diced up into the bowl. What we're gonna do with it, I should have just gone right from the board into the pat because that's where it's going. We're gonna pap it right in here. That's one medium onion or about a cup, whatever suits your fancy on this, because this is for cream spinach. You don't want it overpowered by the onion. Now you can hear it sizzling. That's the bacon and the onion mixed in. It's cooking together. We're looking good. We're looking good. We're gonna pap it down a little. We're gonna get a nice big fat garlic clove here. We're gonna pap him open. That's all you do with them. Give him a couple slices. Give him a couple dices. Not the best way to chop it, but you can use a press. It'll work. It'll work. You just want the flavor in there. We're gonna pap that right in. Pap it right in with the onion. We're gonna give it a stir here. Get that garlic going. We're gonna cook these onions. It's not long. It's 2 or 3 minutes till they're opaque, which is clear actually. In the juice of the bacon, that's gonna give you your smoky flavor in the spinach. It's looking real good. It smells good. If you could, oh man, onions and bacon and garlic. Wow. What I'm going to do here now, in this bowl, is I'm going to use about 4 tablespoons of flour. We're going to mix that in. 1, 2, 3, 4. This is going to be our it's kind of like we're going to make a roux with this, with the bacon grease and the flour. But to this we're going to add just a hint of nutmeg. And I do it over my hand because if too much comes out, you can always shake a little up. That's fine. If you have fresh, use it. It's a lot better. I drop a little bit of paprika in there. A little seasoned salt. Gives it a nice flavor. Just a little bit. Just like that. A little bit of salt. Pop it right in there. And of course, fresh ground pepper. Once again, we do this. And that's to taste again. Pepper, some people like it, some don't. You can always add more on the table as far as pepper is concerned. The salt, I wouldn't go with on the table. It should be in the recipe. Mix that all up, which it is. We're ready to go. The onions are looking good. We're going to pop that right in here. Now we're going to stir this around because we want to cook the flour. We don't want that raw taste from the flour. Now you can see it's nice and thick in there. I don't know if you can see it that well, but everything's coated with the flour. We're going to put that on the heat, and we're going to let that cook approximately a minute. And while we're doing that, we're going to get what's going to be our cream for the cream spinach ready. That's cooking real good. We've got milk, and I like to use a cup of whipping cream. We're going to put a cup of whipping cream and a cup of milk right into this once that flour is cooked. We're all ready with that now. Looking good. Looking good. The flour's cooking. Make sure it's all broken up. It's not holding on to anything, coating anything too thickly, because then it won't cook. And you don't want that raw taste. I hate it personally. You want it cooked. The flour, that is. A couple chunks there. We get rid of them. Okay, once we have that, it's about a minute. We're going to pop in a cup of cream and a cup of milk. That's about a cup. And we're going to, ooh, wow, that was bad. We're going to give this a stir. And that's going to cook approximately 3 minutes, and it's going to get thick on you. But keep stirring it. Nice even heat. Keep stirring it. Pause. Okay, this has been cooking about 3 or 4 minutes. And I don't know if you can tell, It's getting thick. It's getting to be a cream sauce. Now right here what I have, I use frozen spinach. It's already, you just pop it in the microwave or you can boil it. It's so much easier than buying 3 pounds of spinach to make this dish. Once spinach cooks down, it's so much. With the frozen spinach, you get approximately what you pay for. You pop it in the microwave, it's cooked, and blah blah blah. I'm using 2 packages, 10-ounce packages of spinach here. And now this is starting to boil. I'm going to turn it down a little bit. It's nice and thick. You can see the consistency there. It's almost like a real thick clam chowder almost, with the bacon and the onion and the garlic in there. And what we're going to do here is put the cooked spinach right in. It's been drained, and we're going to heat it up in there, stir it around, just to heat the spinach that's already cooked through with the cream sauce. That's all we're doing here. Just mixing it all around. You might want to check for seasonings now, if you need a little more salt or a little more pepper. I think we're just right, to tell you the truth. Not the first time I made this dish, so I think I'm pretty good at it. And once it's heated through, we're going to look like that. We're going to turn that baby off, get the bowl here, and we're ready to go with this one. This one's coming out. Pull it right out of there. Oh, I can smell that. It's delicious. And we're ready to go with that one. Okay, the spinach is cooked. I think our pork roast will be done. Pork tenderloins, I should say, not roast. Here we go. We're going to pull it out of the oven. Pull that off. Be very careful with the foil. It's going to be hot. Oh yeah, it's hot. Watch the steam now. There you go. Look out. Oh, it's perfect. You can see these, and they're just right. Not burned. The moisture with the apple in it has been absorbed into the pork tenderloins. Put them onto the platter here. These are so moist you don't need a gravy with them. It's just unbelievable. When you taste them, you don't know why. Just perfect. Oh, these are perfect. These meat. Put them right there. One right here. You can garnish that. I'm going to pop a little bit of parsley on it. We'll grab an apple. Grab our apple gigger here. Just tap it down the middle. And throw a couple apple slices on there. These big guys on here. And bring it out just like that. And you've got a meal here. You put a mashed potato or a cottage fry with that. A mashed potato or a cottage fry with that, you're in heaven. Thanks again. We'll see you next time, I hope. Enjoy. Missed it.
Too bad. I had
You want me to heat this up?
3 other ones.
Try that out?
It looks good.
It's on the tape. Let me,
Okay.
is there any of that pork left?
Well, as long as you're here, let me get you on film, Mr. Cook.
Is it going?
Yeah, I gotta go.
You're out of Daly College, right?
Yeah.
What's your
Nice
name?
to meet you. Martin Brennan.
Good to meet you. How do you do?
Could you step back by a little?
How do
so I
you
can
do?
get you back in?
Real good. He helped me out.
Michael, can I tell you something?
Sure.
This is Sheila's husband, Don O'Connor.
Oh.
And
How are
this is Sheila's brother, Marty Brennan.
You did this? I'm gonna kill her. I'm gonna kill her. She better run out the door. I knew this was set up. I knew it from the beginning.
Hi, Michael.
I thought,
This is my husband, Nelson.
Now, Michael, would you write this? I have that paper out that says, you love me no matter what that I ask for this morning.
yes. Still want to try this? Yeah. Good. You made me. And all they're gonna pay for it. And you? Oh, I'm gonna kill everyone.
Wait, you wouldn't have done this if I asked you to, would you?
little jokes coming in there.
You have to admit, it was pretty smooth.
Yeah, I've been thinking about sending this in to Dick Clark.
I thought
What'd
you
say?
did the day I talked to you on the phone. Did you
I
have
was
a
trying
question?
to
Give me your phone.
figure the voice out and blah blah blah, and I couldn't
That's
figure
why
it
they
out.
let me do it. 'Cause
Well, you find them over.
Didn't I say when the letter was there? I go, this looks like it was Xerox.
No, you believed it from the beginning.
No.
Don't say.
Don't say that because I didn't.
That's
Right,
enough with
grab-
the tape.
grab the-
Now we'll look at it.
Yeah.